One of my biggest pet peeves in education right now is this notion that students in poverty are struggling in school because they need grit. We have to teach them grit. I think it's offensive for predominantly middle-class people to sit there and tell kids that are in poverty that they need to learn grit. They have more grit than any of us. They are focused on survival. They are only playing the hand they were dealt. When you're a child, you have no control over the circumstances that you live in. You don't earn money. You don't make decisions. Everything that happens to a child is being imposed on them by another person. The only thing they have control over, to a degree, is their reaction to their circumstances. And so, for us to sit there and continuously focus on telling these students that they need grit when some of these students are taking care of themselves at 7 years old, they're taking care of their brothers and sisters like an adult at the same age. We have to stop pretending that these kids need grit. They don't need grit. They have more grit than definitely me and probably most people in this room. What they don't have is inspiration. It's one thing to not grow up around role models that show you the value of why you should get an education. But one thing that is another misconception is there are people living in poverty that have educations. There are people that graduated from high school living in these kids' neighborhoods. Everybody didn't drop out of school. There are people in these same neighborhoods that went to college and graduated from college. Everybody poor isn't uneducated. The thing that we don't understand, that we misunderstand about poverty, is that poverty is a mindset. That's really what poverty is. Poverty is a mindset that has to be changed. People can have money and still act like they're poor. These students don't need grit, they need inspiration. They need to be around people that can inspire them of the potential value of what an education can bring. That's truly what they need. They need role models. And in some cases, you may be the only role model that they have. The only success story of somebody getting an education in their life may be you, the person sitting in that classroom. And this is in an inner city. This could be in a rural community. You may be the only person in this kid's life that has actually gotten an education and it's worked out for. Because everybody is not dropping out of school. So what we need to start doing is focusing on inspiring these students who have the grit. Because I guarantee you this, if you can inspire them, the rest is history. They're going to take care of this. They'll take care of the rest. It's not a matter of do they have grit. It's a matter of can we inspire them. And that's really what good teaching is. Good teaching is inspiring students to want to learn.